welcome back.
Hi!
Tonight for supper we are just doing nachos. I just made up some taco meat and we'll have chips and black olives and nacho cheese, lettuce, whatever anybody wants to put on them.
Hi everybody, you want to see my SpongeBob stream? Ta-da! Now you can do it.
I have to come into Tractor Supply to get oil and I cannot wait. Here is completely just filled with plants and trees and garden stuff. Excuse me. This is super cute. Oh, look at these. This is all on sale. That's a little key. It's magnetic. It's a little key holder. That's cute. What are good flowers to plant in a garden? These are really nice. I like the square ones. I canned potatoes last year from my garden. And I tried using a jar in using mashed potatoes. And they had a really weird texture to them. I don't know if it's something that I did when I was making them, but I usually add milk, butter, and sometimes I add sour cream to them to make them really creamy, and then I'll season them. But regardless, the consistency was just very off. So I have just been using my canned potatoes for just breakfast potatoes, frying them up in the pan, have some eggs with them. But I was going to show you how I do that. If you look at these, they are bigger chunks, but the water is very starchy, so I rinse them out and then I'll cut them up into smaller chunks. Always want to hear that sound, and you always smell them, because if it doesn't smell good, don't eat it. I couldn't record anymore, so I had to take pictures, but I seasoned it with seasoned salt and Mrs. Dash original blend, and once the potatoes were done cooking, I cooked up some eggs and added some cheese. Here's your reminder to go and take out meat from the freezer if you need it for dinner. Forgot to take chicken out yesterday, and we are having high protein honey chipotle chicken. It's a new recipe we're trying. So I'm getting the sauce going, and then I'm going to make up the marinade, and I have to get the rice going on the stove yet too, because it calls for cilantro lime rice to go with it. We'll see how it goes. I just got the sauce mixed up. I did end up adding a little bit of chipotle pepper, but it is like pretty runny. So this recipe calls for basmati rice. I'm gonna get this going. I'm gonna measure out the rest of the stuff that needs to be measured out. I gotta get the chicken marinating.
And did you take the beef from my not me?
So Scarlett got 2 new books from school library today. She got Happiness is a Warm Blanket Charlie Brown. Oh, yesterday. Yesterday.
Did
And-
you take the beef from my ugg? Not me.
So cute. Do you want to say hi?
Hi.
So I always like the books that they bring home from the library.
We can make sounds too. Can you say ruff, 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 ruff? Can you say boo, 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 boo? Can you say achoo? I think I'm catching a cold. Now we're yes, oh yes, my favorite egg. I love my egg. It's the And you gotta call on the person. And if you get it wrong, then you gotta sit back down. And if someone gets it right, then they come up and say
Oh, so you have to have your head down
like this.
and then have your thumb up, and Axel and I have to, and then you have to guess to see who did it. Right? Okay,
But
are
you
you ready?
can't tell.
Nope, are you ready?
Oh, it's inside of It's not on the bottom shelf. Yeah, that one. Chicken and rice was good, but the sauce, no.
Oh, Scarlett came home this afternoon and told me that they are having a cookie party in her classroom tomorrow. So it is almost 7 o'clock and I'm going to start making cookies. We are making chocolate chip. Right? Yeah, chocolate chip cookies.
Guys, watch.
We need to soften some frozen butter before we can make cookies. 6:45 and the cookies are done. Now I just have to wait for them to cool down so I can put them away. Scarlett will be so excited to be able to take them to her party tomorrow.
And watch this, Mom. Watch this. I'm gonna sink away.
Good morning and welcome to Nurture Kitchen. Tonight we are just having a roast of potatoes and carrots. I put salt, pepper, and garlic powder on it, and I'll put it in a crock pot. And on top of that, I will put, I gotta make kind of a gravy. Beef broth, a spoonful of minced garlic, and a dash of Worcestershire sauce. And that will be our dinner tonight. Have you ever gotten halfway through a recipe and realized that you forgot a main ingredient? I did that today. So I am currently in town to grab that one ingredient, one thing, just so I can finish my dinner tonight. I have to get that roast in the crock pot, and then I have to head out the door, and I'm going to be gone for most of the day. So here's to a lesson learned to make sure that you have everything that you need before you start. So I went into this one store to get one thing and they didn't have it. So now I have to go to a different store to see if they have it. Fingers crossed that they do. Otherwise, this dinner will have to be put on hold until tomorrow. We're gonna try this again because I just recorded all of this and I thought my camera was recording and it was not. So I am back home now. I had to run into town to get au jus gravy. Normally I would make stuff like that myself, but we know how this roast tastes and I don't want to switch up anything. This morning I seared the roast. All I did was I put 2 tablespoons of butter in my cast iron. I melted that and then I seasoned the roast with salt, pepper, and garlic powder. As I was going to make the gravy, I got the beef broth in the pan and then I realized that I was out of au jus sauce. So I had to put that all on pause, run to town quick to get it. I stopped at the one store, they didn't have it. So then I had to stop at the other store, they had it. A little bit pricey, but I guess that's the price that you pay. Now that I'm back home, I'm working back on this. This is the roast, I put that in the crock pot. And now I am working on the gravy. This right now is just beef broth. I have to add the au jus packet and the minced garlic and the Worcestershire sauce to it. And once I have that done and all mixed together, I will pour that over the top of the roast. And then when we serve it tonight, probably about a half an hour before we serve it, I will put potatoes and carrots in with it to warm them up. Normally with a roast, I would put the potatoes and the carrots in the crock pot with the roast to cook all day. But I canned carrots and potatoes from my garden last year, so we're just gonna go ahead and use those. So I'll just throw them in to warm them up before we eat. And well, I am going to go and finish this and get that set so that I can cook for the rest of the day, and then I have to head out of the house and I'll be gone for most of the day. So I will check back in later when we are about to eat. One more thing that I did learn, and I actually learned this from Jennifer Brockman over at A Country Life. So your Worcestershire sauce, I did not know that it settles. So for the longest time I was not shaking it. So if you didn't know, you have to shake this because it does settle at the bottom. So thank you, Jennifer, for that tip. It is gorgeous outside right now, and I am so thankful to have these warm days because right around the corner, and I think we're supposed to get 1 to 3 inches of snow on Friday night. So I will take the warm weather when I can, even though we know in Wisconsin the one warm day is not going to last. So, but summer will be here before we know it.
Hey, say hello to my little friend. Wait, Axel. left. Say hello to my friend. You did not die.
We did not end up doing the roast last night because I was too late getting it into the crock pot by the time supper would have been done, and I think it was still partially frozen. So I cooked it for a while last night, and then I shut it off, and I have it going in the crock pot again today. I'm getting ready to make some buns to go with supper tonight, and hopefully we're able to eat the roast tonight. If not, because it is an older roast, so I don't know how tender it will actually turn out. I do have steaks that are thawing out right now to have instead. And if we end up doing steaks, then we will have steaks with baked potato and maybe some sort of vegetable. I'm not sure yet. Right now, I am just going to get going on the rolls for supper. There. So the roast did not turn out. I think it was too old and it just did not get real tender. So we are doing steak with baked potatoes tonight instead. I just got done washing the potatoes and I have to go ahead and poke holes in them and get them on a pan and put them in the oven. They take about an hour to cook, and once the potatoes are done, I'll go out and I'll grill the steaks. The steaks don't take very long, and the potatoes will still be pretty hot by the time I'm done cooking the steaks. My husband and I are the only ones that really like the baked potatoes. My kids really are not a fan. They'll probably just fill in with just some random stuff from the fridge. I mean, we have black olives and lettuce and cheese, and maybe they'll make a little salad or oranges or apples or whatever they choose. They're not too picky. So I'm going to go and finish up the baked potatoes, and we'll be... I got the baked potatoes in the oven. They are cooking. They have about, well, 50 minutes. I just got them in a few minutes ago. Now, in a little while, I'm going to season the steaks and let them sit at room temperature for about a half an hour. And then I will go and grill them. But for right now, I'm going to take this time and go wash up the few dishes that I do have, so then I don't have so many to do after supper.